Upstairs, Downstairs, Episode 11, A Perfect Stranger, Part 1, Production number 1609, recording date the 23rd of the 11th, 73, take 1.
For my old friend, Mrs. Beddoes. Poor old soul. 93 today.
Generalist to a fault as usual, Mrs. Bridges. Here, let me take it for you.
Oh, thank you, Miss Hudson. Well, she took me under her wing. She was cook to Lady Templeman. And I was just starting out. Her lobster patties was the talk of Mayfair. And as for her gooseberry trifle, to end up forgotten in a basement room in Camden Town. There ought to be a law against it.
Oh, that should indeed, Mrs. Bridges. Is Rose taking this round for you?
Yes, I am, Mr. Hudson.
Now, you've got the address, Rose. You mind how you go with it?
I will, don't worry, Mrs. Bridges.
Here you are then, Rose.
Are you going my way, Rose?
But where are you going?
I'm going to see Daisy in hospital, see what she looks like with her hand and eyes out.
Same as with them in, I should think.
I know, Rose, that was a joke.
Oh, what are you taking them for? She won't be able to eat nothing.
Well, what can I take of them?
Nice pretty bunch of flowers, if you want to show her how much you care.
You rotten Rose. Very well, please. Very long now. Very long, please.
Mind out!
Sorry.
Look what you've done.
That's surely sorry.
Look at it.
Yes.
You're ruining me.
Did you make it yourself?
Clumsy.
Yeah, you're right, I am. That's what my lawyer used to say.
All right, but you to joke. Someone was expecting this.
Wait, it's not the end of the world, is it? I'll buy you a replacement.
You can't, not one like this. What am I going to do?
Yes, please.
Camden Town.
Thank you. Any more fares? The same, please. Camden Town. Thank you very much. What sort was it?
Plum, if you must know.
I want a nice plum cake, please.
With almonds.
With almonds.
It's no use, it won't be the same.
What's so special about it?
It was baked by an expert.
Oh. You?
Not me, as it happens.
Your mother?
It was baked by a friend of mine to give to a friend of hers who also happens to be an expert. She'll know immediately if it's shop bought and I'll be in trouble.
Sorry, no plum. Nice lemon sponge or a gingerbread. Or some California jumbles.
Oh, they sound good.
Not them, they've got wine in them. She's 93.
Just stick of a 93, back her up a bit. Now.
Hurry up, there's others behind.
All right, we'll take the lemon sponge, thank you.
Temptation, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's how to do it.
Thank you.
Right.
Good change,
yes.
sir.
Thank you. That's done. How about having some tea with me?
What? I've got to go. Deliver this.
Have some tea first.
Come on. Here.
Yeah, come on. Have some tea. You do?
But I don't know who you are.
Wilmot. Gregory Wilmot's my name. What's yours?
Rose. But
Nice bumping into his back.
Shouldn't Rose or someone be doing that?
I enjoy arranging flowers.
Who sent them anyway?
Nobody sent them. I bought them.
Not all of them? Rather extravagant, isn't it?
It is spring. In case you hadn't noticed.
Yes, I had noticed, but there's no need to keep proving it quite so relentlessly.
This is a pointless conversation.
Agreed.
Are you coming to change?
father owned this farm, quite small in Yorkshire and Driffield. He went through a hard time with it. Did you know in the last 25 years to the turn of the century, 1/3 of the labouring population left the land?
No.
That's right. But my father, he kept faith with his men. You see, he believed in the labour movement like I do, and well, things improved slowly.
Have another scone.
Yes, I will.
Go on. Don't
Yeah,
be
but-
wasted. Tea?
Thank you very much.
Why did you go to Australia?
Dad's idea. Land of opportunity. But he'd never come out and join me there.
So you've come home to see him?
No, he died a couple of months back. Just fell down his own fields just like that. Ah, it's the way he wanted. I've just come back to settle up his affairs. I go back in a fortnight. Right. Now, you tell me about yourself, your family.
Nothing to tell. My father was lodge keeper to the Earl of Southwold. That's where I was brought up on the estate. And now I work for his grandson, Captain James Bellamy, in Eaton Place.
Oh, yes? In what capacity?
Pardon?
What do you do?
Head house parlour maid. No point in pretending different.
No reason why I should. It's a very respectable job.
Respectable, that's just about all it is.
And worthwhile, too, if you're good at it. And I bet you are.
Well, you'd have to ask other people that, wouldn't you? Yeah, I've got to go. Deliver the cake.
Okay. Would you like me to come with you to explain the accident?
No. I'm better on my own, really.
Yeah. Right. But I'll see you tomorrow, won't I?
Australia, Rose? What a strange question. What prompts it?
Nothing. I heard an Australian talking on the tram, and you're always saying how we should be curious and interested in things, and I don't know anything about it, that's all.
Australia is a large, uncomfortable place with a hot and dusty climate, full of convicts and swindlers and bad living conditions. And certainly no place for a young woman if you're thinking of emigrating.
A sheep station, 8,000 head, about 100 miles west of Melbourne.
In the bush.
Oh, it's not too isolated. There's a town quite near, and, well, we make our own company living on the property. That's my brother Tim and 3 of the jackaroos who help us out.
I've got a brother called Tim. He went to Canada to do forestry.
Well, now, isn't that amazing? That is a coincidence. That must be fate, mustn't it?
It's you.
Yeah. You know, I think you'd go for it out there. The sheer size and beauty of the place. The colours. Delicate, soft and faded. Have you ever wanted to travel?
Question of wanting, is it? Housemates don't get the chance.
You can't? No coldness and damp out there?
Rose? I've just had a letter from my old friend Mrs. Bellows. She thanks me very kindly for the lemon sponge. Says, why could I not have baked one myself? Oh, what on earth does she mean by that?
Oh, I don't know, Mrs. Bridges. She's probably got muddles in the head. They do, don't they, when they're 93?
Oh, the rest of the letter's sharp enough. Very sharp indeed. Still, I'll bet you're right. You're coming with us to Richmond Park tomorrow
Richmond Park, Mrs. Bridges.
to see the deer. They're going out upstairs for the day, so we thought we'd take a picnic.
No, I can't. Not tomorrow. Well, I've got to see some friends. Friends of my brother's over from Canada. Married couple. Got to look after them.
Well, bring them to Richmond Park. Make a lovely outing for them.
Yes, that is a good idea. Only they want to see the Tower of London. Just doing what I'm doing. Miss Lizzie taught me once.
I'm too clumsy, Rose.
Look, if we don't do proper, we get thrown out. You really are.
Let's go sit down.
I've never been to a place like this before.
Like Stuart.
I don't think it's quite respectable.
Yeah, I think you're right. good.
Not as good as Eaton Place.
Eaton Place. Make it sound like Buckingham Palace.
Oh, I suppose it's much different. Mr. Hudson wouldn't think so anyhow.
You're Mr. Hudson. He sounds a bit of a wowser to me.
Wowser?
It's an Australian word for killjoy. Non-drinker.
Oh, no, he isn't. That's not fair. He has to be a bit strict, but he's got a sense of humour. He has a drink sometimes. I bet you have a drink sometimes.
Well, you know, after a hard day's work, I do like a few beers. But I don't drink to excess, Russ. Not like some of them.
I don't mind a man who drinks. In moderation.
It's funny. This time in 10 days, all this. Do you remember it?
10 days?
I'll be sailing out of Tilbury to the open sea.
Won't see you again.
Why not come with me?
Oh, yes.
I'm serious, Russ. You're just ready for adventure.
I get quite a lot of adventure in my life. You'd be surprised.
Mr. Hudson, Mrs. Bridges. What's his name?
Edward. And they're not all stuck in the mud like you seem to think.
I never said they were ours. I wouldn't judge anybody before I've met him. Let's go meet him now.
What?
I want to see this famous house of yours.
We can't. We can't. We've already started our tea.
What's the matter? You ashamed of me?
Just remembered. They've all gone on an outing to Richmond Park. Ruby? Ruby! Ruby, wake up, girl. What are you doing here?
Mrs. Bridges said I was to stop in and mind place whilst they were
Yes,
out.
well, you don't have to mind the place now I'm back. Go on, you go out for a walk.
Yes,
Don't walk well. This gentleman's just come to see Mr. Hudson.
Mr. Hudson's gone out with Mrs.
Well,
Bridges.
you going out too. A nice walk down the road.
Hi, Ruby.
She's a kitchen maid. It's simple. Would you like a cup of tea?
No. Can I sit down?
Yes, of course.
Aren't you gonna?
Somebody might come in.
Thought they were conveniently in Richmond Park.
Conveniently.
You don't want me to meet them, do you? Your family.
I don't care if you meet them. Your idea coming back here, I wanted to stay at the Tay Dansant. I was really enjoying it.
Aren't you enjoying it now? Alone with me? Now this could almost be my house. Not much difference. Except you get more sunlight through the window. And I made my own furniture. I meant it, Raz, when I said come with me. How about it?
Ridiculous.
I don't see why. I'm not such a bad fellow. I'm 35 years old and doing quite well for myself. I'll look after you.
Don't be daft. It's not that I'm worried about.
What then?
Why me? Why pick on me when you could do so much better?
Better? I don't think I could.
I'm a house parlour maid.
Just about the best qualifications I can think of for a wife.
Wife?
We don't have to get married right away. You can just come out then. Look around before you make up your mind. I'll pay your fare back if you don't like it. I'll buy you a return boat ticket. What do you say?
Oh.
You're not frightened of me, are you?
Of course I'm not. Why should I be?
Well, there's no reason to be, because I wouldn't do anything to upset you against your will. Not until after we're married, anyway.
You would be for?
You know what I mean.
Don't know what Mr. Hudson would say.
Ah, the heck with Mr. Hudson. I'm sorry, Raz, but well, you can make up your own mind, can't you?
Look, you don't know what you're doing to me. I've never been like this before, not with anyone. Please, don't make fun of me.
I wouldn't do that, Raz. I swear it. I've never been more serious in my life. Do you think I'd take the chance of making you unhappy? think I'd lumber myself with an English girl out there in the wilds? No, it's not wild. But do you think I would? Unless I was absolutely certain we could make a go of it. Now, I was certain the moment I saw you on that tram.
Oh, I can't help thinking you want an housekeeper, not a wife. Someone to cook, sew and scrub the floors for you and your friends. Pick up some housemaid, they probably said.
How can you think that? Rose, look at me. How can you think that?
Because you haven't mentioned the word love yet. This may sound stupid, but I always thought that if this ever happened to me, and I never thought it would, I'd hear the word love.
Well, of course I love you. Wouldn't be asking you if I didn't.
All right to say it now.
I love you. I do love you. You know. And I've never said it to anybody ever before in my life. Well, is that better? Oh, I can't dress things up in fancy words.
You use fancy words when you talk about Australia. When you talk about Australia, you sound like a poet.
Yeah, well, that's different. Can't answer back. But now, don't mind it. Now it's your turn. You say that word to me if you feel you can. Because nobody's ever said it to me before either.
I'm very fond of you, Gregory.
You don't love me.
Oh, I don't really know you.
You always have to make things so difficult for yourself, you women. I mean, all I see is you and me and fate bringing us together on some London tram. And both of us knowing really right away. It's so simple.
Simple? What's simple about it? I've only known you 4 days and you're asking me to uproot myself, leave the life I know, all my friends, to travel thousands of miles away to a foreign country full of convicts and swindlers and bad living and...
Don't rush. Take your time. But I'll have to know soon. If I'm going to get your passage booked. Right?
A man in here yesterday while we was out.
Yes, said he wanted to see Mr. Hudson.
Did he leave his name or state his business?
No, said he'd call back, said it wasn't important.
That's not what Ruby told me.
Yes, well, it's none of our business, is it? I've told you all I know.
I don't think you have, Rose.
All right, he was a friend of mine.
A friend of yours. And you told me you was going to the Tower of London with a married couple friends of your brother's. Now, that's not very truthful, Rose.
Oh, just a casual acquaintance, nothing wrong, is there?
An acquaintance whom you brought back here when the rest of the house was deserted, when you knew it would be deserted. You know my opinion of that, Rose.
If it had been an old friend, it would have been a different matter, but just a casual acquaintance.
Since you're all being so flaming nosy, he wasn't just a casual acquaintance, he's...
What, Rose?
He's my fiancé, if you must know.
What?
My fiancé, Mr. Hudson.
Come off here, Rose. Pull the other one. Are you engaged to be married?
What's wrong? I was much right as anyone.
Oh, why didn't you tell us, Rose?
Well, I was going to, but he only asked me yesterday, and I haven't quite made up my mind. I'm still thinking it over. I was waiting till it was official. Well, don't say you're all pleased for me.
Well, naturally we're pleased, Rose. Congratulations. But you can't expect us to be overjoyed till we know a wee bit more about him.
Oh, quite right, Miss Hudson. Well, who is he, Rose? And why have you kept him so quiet?
His name's Gregory Wilmot. He's 35 years old, and he's a sheep farmer.
A sheep farmer? Well, that's a respectable enough occupation. Whereabouts does he farm, Rose?
Australia.
Hey? You're never telling us you're going to live in Australia, Rose.
I don't know, I haven't made my mind up yet, like I told you.
That's why she was asking me about Australia the other day. How long have you known him, Rose, and where did you meet him?
I've known him quite a while, and I met him out.
Out? Where?
Did he pick you up, Rose?
No, he didn't. He fell on me, if you must know.
He fell on you, Rose?
The tram got pushed against me.
And you just got talking just like that?
He apologised like a proper gentleman. That's how we got talking. Look, if you met him, you wouldn't be so suspicious.
We'd like to meet him, Rose. We'd like to meet him very much.
Yes. You bring him to tea, Rose.
Yeah, let's have a look at him, Rose. After all, Ruby's only had the honour so far.
He's not a performing seal.
No, he's a performing kangaroo if he comes from Australia.
Edward, that is not very funny.
No, Mr. Hudson.
Bring him to tea tomorrow, Rose.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Hudson.
Mrs. Bridges,
Mrs. Bridges.
Pleased to meet you.
Edward,
How do you do?
Ruby,
Oh, yes, I have met Ruby.
Gregory Wilmot.
Well, it's a great pleasure to meet you all. Mind you, I feel I know you already from what Russ has told me.
We've heard something about you too, Mr. Wilmot. Won't you take a seat?
Oh, thank you. Oh, here's a small present for you. Don't you drink whiskey?
Yes, of course we do, Gregory. Thank you. Most useful.
Thank you.
Oh, no, don't you sit there, Gregory. You sit in the middle between me and Rose. You don't mind if I call you Gregory?
No.
Thank you. Ruby, fetch the pot.
Please.
Rose says you're a sheep farm in Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
Very interesting work, I should imagine. What do you do exactly?
Well, we buy the sheep up in Queensland because it's cheaper than... Well, you bring them down to the station.
Hey,
Aye, and a sense of mischief on occasion. But... Good heavens, is that the time? The new girl's coming for her interview any minute.
I mean, I'll always remember her teasing and her generosity when I was broke. And a happy smile in the face of adversity.
adversity? There's no adversity in this house.
No, I mean... but the funny thing is that we won't remember anything after a bit. I mean, we'll remember her, Rose, and the fact that she existed, but nothing about her. I suppose that's the way it is. With people, I mean, they just fade away.
What are you talking about, Edward?
Is that a cab I hear?
I'll go see this, Hudson.
Has the new girl arrived in a cab?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm never surprised at anything about young people nowadays. Come on, Ruby, clear this stuff away.
Mr. Hudson, it's Rose.
Rose! Oh, gracious, what can have happened?
It's all right, it's all right. You're quite
Oh, Rose!
Here, take a bag. I've got a hat.
What
Now,
happened, Rose?
sit
The
down,
boat
my man.
sailed?
Now, take
Was
this
that a
camera.
fog?
Now, don't crowd her, Edward.
Where's Gregory?
Excuse me, sir. Madam, I thought you should know Rose has returned.
What? She forgotten something?
Well, what's happened?
Well, it's difficult to know for certain, madam, but it seems the gentleman, her fiancé, already has a wife in Melbourne.
Well. How did she stumble on that?
From some friends of his who came to see them off, sir, a schoolmaster and his wife from Potter's Bar. It was hard to get a clear account of what happened, but it seems she had rather a lucky escape.
Yes. How is she?
Oh, she was overwrought to begin with, madam, but she picked up quite quickly when she realized where she was in her old familiar surroundings. She's in her room now, madam.
I see. Thank you for telling us, Hudson.
Oh, and madam, I took the liberty of turning away the new applicant for the post of house parlourmaid.
Oh, yes, of course.
Poor old Rose. Trust her to get mixed up with a scoundrel.
Do you believe it?
Rose, it's Mrs. Bellamy. May I come in for a minute?
Hudson has told us what happened. I am very sorry.
I'm sorry for all the trouble caused. I'll give you back your trunk, madam, of course.
Oh, Rose. May I sit down? He had a wife in Melbourne. These friends who came to see you off told you so.
Yes.
But he's separated, isn't he? Perhaps divorced. Well, she's not living with him on the farm.
I don't know about that.
I know one can be wrong about people, but He seemed so clearly like a man who'd worked hard and built something up for himself and was looking for a wife to share it with. He found what he was looking for in you.
Yes, but he wasn't honest with me, was he?
Are you being honest with me?
Mrs. Bellamy?
Rose. We are good enough friends to be frank with each other, aren't we? I want to help.
You can't help. It's all over and done with. The boat's gone and he's gone for good.
Rose? He was free, wasn't he? Why didn't you go with him?
Like I said, he had a wife. He didn't want me. Never did want me. Just making fun of him, that's all.
Don't cry, Rose. Oh, don't cry.
It was awful. Docks, people pushing. I couldn't get through. Dirty old boat. His friends laughing. As soon as I saw them with him, I thought I didn't know him. It wasn't real. I felt sick. I had to start running, but here.
Didn't he follow you and try and stop you?
I saw him look, reach out, but people pushed. His friends pushed him on the boat. Leastwise, the woman did. She didn't want me to marry him. I knew that first time I met her. I thought I wasn't good enough.
Of course you were good enough. He thought so, didn't he? That's what's important. What's it got to do with anyone else?
Mr. Hudson was right. You can't get to know someone that quick. It takes a long time. Silly. Leaving all you know, all your friends, for a perfect stranger.
I know, but sometimes it's important.
Silly. You won't tell him downstairs.